Hello everybody, today I'm going to show you how to make my locked gatefold card. Don't know if you can see that, like that. It's not as hard as it looks, it's just the placings of things, just to get it even. And that's the inside. You can put your sentiment on that bit, you can decorate around it. I just left it. Okay, so I've done near enough everything to put on it because it took a long while. The main thing I'm going to show you today is how to do this bit here. Alright, so I'm just going to pop that to one side. Right, first thing, I've just got two 8x8 cards and you're just going to stick them together. So I use double-sided tape, but I know a lot of people use glue, but I've just used the tape. But you must remember to put it on the underneath of the little ridge of the card, which is the fold. You need to put it on the inside. If you put it on the outside, like that, you're not going to be able to fold the card over properly. So just remember, it goes on the inside of the card, like that. Stick it down and then you'll be able to fold it over like that. But you're going to chop these off at roughly 10 centimetres, which is roughly 4 inches. So half of that, put that into your stash to use later, and then exactly the same on this one. Half of your card, if you're using a 7x7, it is just literally half you're going to use. Mine doesn't actually meet. It didn't meet on the first one, like in the middle. I'll show you in a minute. Didn't meet on the first one, and I've done the second one for the demo today and it didn't meet there at all. But I'm entirely not worried about it at all, because let's just get the card, and you can see I've got a gap there. I didn't half that one properly, I have to admit, but it doesn't look that bad. Doesn't look that bad. And I lined up this as best as I could with the underside. Made a mistake there, but we won't talk about that. There's no mistakes in card making. Right, so I've done this one for everybody to see. Right, I've done all the glittering. The glittering took forever. Right, it's covered in this, I'm using, what is it I'm using? Purple Galaxy, and it sticks to everything. I'm covered, the floor's covered, the cats are covered, my dinner was covered last night. It just sticks to everything, but it's just so pretty. So literally all I've done, I've used the amethyst, Chloe's amethyst paper. Oh, there's a bit of sticky tape there, it doesn't matter, it's going to get covered. And I've gutted this one with our first one that we're going to use, and I've double-sided taped them already before I've done the glue, so that you can still use it if you want to when the glue is wet around the outside. So I put that on the wonk as such, so you can get better usage out of it. So that this one, I think it was 19.5, and then you go down and you do your 19. As you can see, that one's covered in the glitter as well. So I'm just going to put that on now and show you, and then we're going to build up the inside. I've done all the flowers. I've used the rose mallow for the flowers, you can see them there, amethyst and crystal white, and that is with silver gilt Chloe's Sparkleicious. Is that. So let's just get this stuck down. As best we can. Little doggy ears disappeared. Here he is. Right. So, because you've got your doggy ears, you can manoeuvre it before you stick it to get it exactly where you want it. Just line it up, no rulers, and stick your corners down and then pull them off. Like that. And then I'm just going to shut that and give it a little press. And you can see mine still don't line up, even though I was more careful, but it's not as a bigger gap as the previous one, but it's still a gap. But I'm not worried, not worried. So that's that. I am going to give it a little dust. I think I need to get a better brush because it's just taking it off one bit and putting it on another bit. I'm fighting a losing battle, I think, with this. Right, let's just get it out of the way. Right, I'm giving up with that. Right, so I've just cut these ones. I've got the sizes for you. It's with the new Fancy Hexagon, which is becoming a favourite. Now, this one, in a minute, this one I've taped together because that is what you're going to use for your locked frame. I'm just moving bits out of the way to get to it. So that's your locked frame. I've actually gone down a size from the blue one that I did because I found when I was doing the blue one it was quite hard to put these on without it sort of catching. So when you place these, you've got to remember you've still got to open this one, and this one in the corner was a bit of a problem. It's a bit catchy. So I've gone down a size for the frame, but it still looks okay. So that's the frame. I'll give you the sizes in a minute. And I've actually backed it on the back. You can see a little bit of white round it, but it is cut identical from this one. So I think when it cuts it, it must, I don't know, expand it a little bit on the mirror card. I'm not quite sure, but it is cut with identical. Perhaps if you cut two together, they might come out perfect. I'm not quite sure. Perhaps I've just not stuck them together properly. But they fit on this bit, but they're not on that bit. So it's not a problem because one bit's going to be stuck down and one bit's not. So let's put that to one side. I'm going to give you all the sizes in a minute. Right. It's not a hard card, it's just a more of a fiddly card, I have to say, because it took me ages to prep everything for it today. So, the inside of the card, these ones here, I use number 4, 5, 6 and 7. Let me just get the... So that's working from the outside to the middle. And I've marked the top on all of mine because when I was coming to put it together, if you put one part in one way and another, it doesn't identically line up. So I've marked them all so I know exactly what way up they're meant to go. And you can see I've done arrows on them. You can just see on that one, just done it on that and that one, just so I know what way they're going to go round. I'll show you. So that way, that's the correct way there. But if you turn it round and you try and put it, doesn't match, because you've got a bit down there and a bit up there. That doesn't match either. You've got a bigger gap there to over here. And that one, that doesn't match. Right and a wrong, I didn't think there would be, but there is. So I've just done that just for me, basically. so that you're not twisting it round all the time trying to find what way round is the best way. So I'm just going to stick that down. Literally no bunny ears on this one, dog ears, bunny ears, can't remember what I called them now, bunny ears I think. None on this one because you haven't got enough room to manoeuvre it because you've got to stick the middle. So if you want to use your PVA, that's fine, but just remember it will move a little bit once you're putting all the others down. Look, it's covered in glitter again. Oh, that's not stuck down. Let's just try and get some of that off. So just line it up. Right, let's do this one. I forgot this one. Get this inside bit done first, because once you've got all the flowers and everything, it's quite hard to open it up and get everything in. As much as I love this glitter, I don't think it's won't be used much. Right, just line that up. I'm not actually measuring it, I'm just looking at it. That looks roughly the middle, so pop it down. And then this is the next one. My arrow is up that way, but check it. Got a little bit of tape there, but that's going to be covered. Stick it down, line it up. There you go. Stick it down. And this one. Arrows that way. Just line it up. Check it. Yeah. Right. So that's the inside of the card done. So if you can hear snoring, that's my cat Quincy on guard behind me, in case of any falling flowers that he will attack. Right, that's that. I think we're just going to have trouble. Right, let's just give it a... Right. So that's that. I will rub that out now because that is going to be your sentiment. If you want to do your sentiment before you stick it, or it's quite sturdy that you can trust yourself and don't do it wrong, you can do it from there. Alright, so that's that. So that is, the point is going up, is going to be my top of the card. So let's get some measurements for the sides. Let's pop that out of the way. Just clear this. Right. Give you some measurements for the matting and layering of the fronts. So we've got the sides. Oh, I was going to tell you the measurements of these ones, weren't I, first? Right, I haven't written them down, so we're going to go with, that's the first. I think one of these So that's number, that will be number 4. Fetch it off from the inside, yeah. So that's 4, and then 5, 6, 7. So that's them. And then put the big one out the way because you're not using that one on the outside of the card. Okay. The frame is actually number 5 and 6. And I've taped 5 and 6 together there. Let's just get this for you and just show you quickly. You don't have to do my measurements at all, but just remember it's got to fit inside neatly so that it's big enough for it to open. Okay, so that's going to be roughly there. Line it up with the inside one there. This was the hardest bit. So you're going to stick this bit, the left hand, my left hand side of the card down totally, but you're going to leave this side up. The complete octagon, you're going to stick this side down. I've made a mistake, I put pads on all of it, so that can be easily rectified. This side is just going to be from the middle, at the top, the middle, the bottom. You're just going to stick this side down because that is your opening. So that's going to be stuck, this is going to be stuck, and it's going to be quite hard to show you, but I will try. So it's going to be like that. Okay, I have to rectify my mistake there. I'll just put a backing on that and then no one will see. Alright, so this one, just let me get the measurements of these ones because I didn't actually write these ones down. So we're using these ones here. So 4 is the big one, which is this one. I'm going to put the, right, so that's the top. So we used 5 and 6 for the frame, and then this one is going to be 7, 8, 9, 10, and then number 12. So you work your way in from the outside edge to the in. Okay, so we've missed one out because you need the extra little room around that just to put your gems or whatever, you can put anything around there, but I just made one just a size smaller just to put something around the edge. Alright, so the sizes are for this, the outside of the card to go inside the frame. I just dropped on the floor. So your frame is used number 5 and 6, which is that, and then all these ones are 7, 8, 9, 10, and the smallest one is number 12, which will be that one. Okay, so let's get the frames out of the way for the moment. I'm just going to pop them. I actually keep that one as it is because it will probably be used quite a few times, so I'm just going to pop that out of the way for the time being and bring back in the card that we're going to use. And let's just get these out of the way. You see, I've edged everything, everything's taped, ready to go. I've done, oh, I'll show you that bit in a minute. Let me get this bit out of the way first because I'm going to confuse everybody. Right, these ones are for your front panels. So the first one is in amethyst, Chloe's Pearl card, Amethyst, which is 9.4. And then I've done the Crystal White, and that is 8.9 for that one. And then the Amethyst Mirror, which is 8.4. And then the smallest one in Crystal White is 7.9. Okay, they're all taped up. None of them are on pads because the centre is on the pads. So I'm just going to stick all these down. I should have done stuck a few down before, but never mind, it doesn't take long. Right, so that's that. I'll give you time to catch up a little bit. Just centre it as best you can, 4 corners, and then take your doggy ears off. Sorry, bunny ears. Take that one out. And exactly the same on the other side. Right, matching it up. You can see it's raised a little bit because of what's underneath. But as soon as you put it down, it squashes it. Right, now I'm lining it up all the way around, but I'm also lining it up with the edge of the on the opposite side as best you can. Take your ears off. And then we'll go in with this one. I'm working on a new design of a reef card, so that will probably be my next one for everybody. Just a different kind of reef card. If there's anything that anybody wants me to show them, just email me or message me via Facebook if you want me to show you any techniques or anything, and I'll be happy to help. Just line it up. Sorry, this is the boring bit for everybody at home. Now, I've lost a bunny here. There he is. It's stuck at the bottom, so I can stick it down. Once this is all done and they're all stuck down, I'll go over just with a plain sheet of paper so that you can just press it down nice and hard. This one I've gone over with the tape on this one, so I just need to tidy that up a little bit. Just do that, just fold it over. This one is quite a good fit, this one. Okay, press it down. Right, there's only 2 left, so I'm going to just do the bunny ears on all of them. Right. Let's place that down. There. Last one. Perhaps I should have done silver on that because it doesn't really show up the nice mirror underneath. Should have done silver edging on that one. Never mind. I just didn't want to do the blue one again. This one down. Right, that's that bit. That's the really boring bit. Okay, so there's that. Now, I've got all the foliage and everything ready to go, but I'm going to go with this. So, I'm just going to bring in the original one. So we want to stick this in the centre. Let's just open that up. Because there was like a dead space of white underneath there, I just added those. But because this is smaller, I'm just going to see what it looks like. I did add them afterwards. So I'm going to see what it looks like. If it looks really like plain underneath, then I'll just add some. I've got some that are left over here. Although they're shaped, we can just flatten them down. So we'll see what it looks like. So don't worry about placing the flowers inside. Leave that right to the last minute. All we need to concentrate on at the moment is this frame. So you want to get it as central as you can, but remember the ones underneath, because you're going to see them as well. Okay. So I don't want to put the glue on it yet. I just use Cosmic Shimmer PVA when we do it, but I don't want to do it yet because I just want to have a little play, because underneath you can see we had the big one here, so this one is actually this, the white one. It's not going to match identical, but we can get it as near to it as possible, like that. It's not going to match identical, but because it's not too bad, it's not too bad at all, we'll go with that. You can see it underneath. Do this, open that up, and you can place it over it there. And just remember, the other side might be different, but just do it as best you can. It's going out a little bit. I'm going to lift that up. Pop it down. Just going to move it over. I'm actually going to put the point of that one into the gap and the point of that one into the gap. There and there. It's roughly the same distance down. So now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to hold it on that side. Sorry, on this side. Because when you put the when you put these ones here and you put that one there, now that is not going to work. So we need to go slightly a little bit higher with this. This is the trouble I had with my first one, and I thought I'd learnt by my mistakes, but I obviously haven't. So we can move it up slightly there, so you've still got that bit, and that's still going to fit in. You could always cut a little bit off if you wanted to of the bottom of the flower, and then just put a little bit of glitter on it, but I think that's going to work. It's roughly the same distance. I'm just going to put a tiny little pencil mark there, there and there, just so I've got something to line it up to, and then that can be rubbed out after. Don't want to do all that work and then forget what you've done. So remember, you're gluing this side. I'm just going to get my other card just to make sure. Doesn't matter if you go right to left or left to right, but I've done it this way around. So I've glued the left side. So that's this side. So I'm going to turn it over. Keep my hand on the side that I want to glue, because as soon as I turn it back over I forget what I'm doing. So, and I'm just going to put a tiny bit, if it's going to come out, yeah, here it comes. Just going to put a little bit. If it oozes out, it doesn't matter, it can be wiped off after. Okay, now I'm going to hold the side that has got the glue on it up. I'm going to position this my right side on the little marks that I made. Doesn't matter if it's slightly, we can do millimetres off, but just remember you've got to line up the middle. I'm going to go up a little bit. I did say it was fiddly, but once it's done it's a lovely card, and I'm just going to pop it down. It will squidge a little bit, so just be quite firm with it. Now I've got glues coming up, but I'm just going to, it dries really quickly, so you can just wipe it off. I'm not going to go in with the rubber, I'm just going to go in and wipe it with my finger. Just going to hold it there for a couple of seconds. If it oozes out, we can get your tweezers and scrape it off after, because the oozing out bit will stay wet for a little bit. Alright, well, I didn't put the paper on it, but I think it's stuck. Right, let's just pop these out of the way. Right, get the tweezers. Just going to go around the outside. Just get any of the glue that might have oozed out. No, not too bad. Just a little bit there. And go around the outside. It's okay. There's little bits of glue there. can, just with the flat side, something I learned last night, with the flat side, just rub over it, if you can see little glue bits, and they actually just come off. No pressure, just slightly rubbing, not with the end because you'll indent it. Just always a bit of acetate there. Oh no, what's that? What is that? I need to top up that then. Right. Let's come off. Still nice and shiny. Okay, so that, let's just put the lid back on in here. Just turn it round so you can see. Okay, that's your first part. I'm calling that the lock. Okay. Just turn it round. Now, this was the bit that I'd got a little bit excited and put it all over. So what I'm going to do quickly, I think I can do it after. I'm just going to pop that down, but I need to put a line because I've drawn on it, because I've stuck all my pads on. Don't have a pencil because I'm going to have to, let me get the ruler. So I'm just going to go from the top of the point here down to the bottom of the point, but I'm going to go in a little bit. That didn't work, did it? And let's just see what side I've done. Right, so it should be this side and I've gone the other side. So ignore this bit, ignore that bit. I'm going to go slightly inside that bit there. I confuse myself so much. Right, so this side you want to take off. I'm going to get the... Let's move that back out the way, so I don't want to cut that. So this is the side, my right side is the bit that we're going to be sticking onto the card. So I'm just going to cut that down there on the line, because I only want to take those, the back of the sticky things. That didn't cut very well. Just do it that way. Right. Just take them off. So we want to leave the other side on. So all you're doing is putting sticky pads this side. Ignore what I've done on the other side. I will rectify that once I've put it back on Chloe's site. Okay? So, I'll have it facing me for the moment. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hold it, but you're going to go on the inside and stick it on the inside. I didn't check this was the right way up. Never mind, it's done now. I'm going to have to just go with it. So when you do it, please remember to check this frame is the right way up, because I think I've actually put it the wrong way up, but I'm just going to have to go with it because it's stuck now and there's not a lot. So anyway, I'm going to go with it. It doesn't fit properly, but I'll just have to lump it. Right, so stuck. Okay, still opens. I'm still okay, although it's not 100%, it's still okay. You know what I'm going to do. Once I've done it all, I'm going to take it apart and redo it. I think that's okay for a lockable. I just want to see. I wonder if we can going to get that off. That's not going to come off properly, I don't think. No, I'm going to leave it. It's not going to come off. Right. So mistakes happen. There's nothing we can do about it. So I'm going to leave it. Just put it down to experience. Okay, it still opens. Alright, so let's just go and stick everything down. Right, arrow goes up that way. So let's pop that down. There. This one is on pads. Right. Alright. Stick that one down. And this one is not on pads, it's on just double-sided tape. Right, my arrow is going that way, so let's pop it down that way. To me that doesn't look right. Just pop it down. That isn't right. See all the crossings out. I've got myself all confused. Right, let's try it this way. If you do make a mistake, look, that one was going up in the first place and I crossed it out and I've done this way. This is the correct way. Just move them round like I'm doing. If it doesn't look right, just move it round. Right, I'm just going to put that one down. There. And then the final one I used, where is it? Do Crafts, Papermania, black. It's like a glossy one, just for the sentiment. Didn't really fit, but I thought it looked quite pretty, so I left it. And I've done that on pads. Just pop that one down. I'm hoping this is the right way around because I've embossed it, so it's a bit late now. Just line it up. It is a little bit wonky, and as my eyes have gone a little bit wonky, but it'll be alright. Okay, and then I'll just put some diamante gems around that. I'm not going to do it now. I'm just going to place a couple on so you can see. I'll get some bigger ones out in a minute. Even with the little ones it looks quite pretty. So, but we'll do that in a minute. I didn't get any out, I should have got some out ready. And now I'm not going to be able to pick it up. There we go. Right, so that's that done. Let's show you. And open sesame. You can see the back. My faux pas, which is there. I will cut another one of them out and I will just stick it on top. No worries at all. No one will ever know it was a mistake. Instead of seeing the back side of the card, they're going to see a coloured back side. So I've got loads of scrap bits of paper over here. So that's that. You can see there is slightly a difference because I've done the wrong way round of the frame. You can see it's slightly different there, but looking at it, it's okay. So I've done some foliage, and I've just done my old favourite, which is the Christmas, the old Christmas one. See, my little cats have been attacking overnight because it's covered. Right, so I'm literally just going to just place it on. I'm going to do the same design as what I did on the other one. Just stick it on. I have to go a little bit down and up, like that. Remember, you've got to go, it's got to be stuck underneath this side, otherwise you won't be able to lift it up. And you can't go over the top of this because this one's going to be lifting as well. I'm going to do that. That can go over the top there, like that. And that's going to be popped there, like that. I've done some other foliage, just in case there was room, but there isn't actually much room really. So it will be used for another time, and I did this one as well just in case, but I don't think there's room to put much else on there. We could actually put that underneath, so that might be a bit different. So I'm going to get my silicone. I've progressed to the big girl syringe now, which I prefer. It's got a lid on it, but it makes a little stopper overnight, so you just take your little stopper out. It's very easy. And I'm going to put a little line down. I still don't like touching it, and I don't like it, the feel on my hand, so I still don't try and touch it as best as I can. And because it's on silicone, you can move it around a little bit. And of course, when you actually press down with the flour, it moves anyway, and then you have to move it back a little bit. So just put a big ring there. Now this bit's stuck, remember. Oh, let's get that rubber. Just get that off while we think of it. That's it. This one's going to be easier to get off. As you can see, we've still got lots of shedding on this one. Right, let's put this down. Just put a little whirly circle on there. Now, let it prove me wrong by not moving at all. Right, I'm just going to pop that down. You can see, watch the foliage. It might not. Squeeze it down. Yeah, it did move slightly. So just move it back. Hold your flour, move it back a little bit, pop it into place where you want it, and leave it. Do exactly the same with this side. Just pop it down. There. To the position that, just go back there. So don't waste your silicone. Pick it up with your tweezers. Pop it on the back of your foliage, and then move it over and stick it down. Okay, and then just wipe your tweezers at the end. You don't waste your silicone. And then a little bit more. Got your hands tied up. A little bit more there. position now. This has got to go underneath, remember? So that can go there. Pop that down. Move it round. Yeah. And in position. And pop it into place. I did move slightly, not too much. Just move it round, pop that down. Now, this is the problem, it's the bottom corner that I always have trouble with. So I'm going to get my flowers and I'm just going to pop them down. That one's okay there, that's going to miss that totally. This is the problem one. It's just going to catch. So I'm just going to keep turning it round until I can find some way. I might have to just give it a little trim just to make sure, as long as you're not going over the card, because you won't fit it in the box or whatever you're going to put it in, just remember to keep it inside your white. Now that's going to catch on all of that. I think I'm going to have to give it a little trim, just that bit there, and then I'll re-glitter it, and no one will ever know, unless they've watched the video and seen that I've done it wrong, but we won't talk about that. Right, so perfect. So I am going to cut that in just a little bit more, because once I put the glitter on it, right, which I'm going to do right now, because once it's on the card it might be a little bit awkward. Right. Glitter. And I'm going to do what I tell you not to do. I'm going to stick it in. I'm not going to do that because it's not going to fit. Just get a little spoon. There you go, once that's dried. Right. Okay, that's going to be okay. So I'm going to pop, let's just position these properly. So we're going to have a bit there. Another little cat that's hello, she's decided to join us, but she's sitting in her little box. Yeah, she's going to sit. I've got one in front of me watching, and the other one's fallen asleep, so that's alright. They do like to be involved, I have to say. Sometimes it's lovely, but sometimes it's really annoying because they run off with stuff. Right. Let's put the, and just position it. And if it's not right, I've just got to find out what. But did I cut? Oh dear. Oh, there it is. Right. I'm going to have to move that down a little bit. Don't want to move it down too much. Just move it a bit. Doesn't matter if it's slightly on the bottom because it will crease up once you pop the card down. Right, just remember where I put the a little cutout, which is there on the inside of the card. Give it a little press down. Make sure you can still lift that. Yeah. And then we just do the other side. Actually, it's probably easier to put it on the that there, put that there. And it goes in the card, in the box rather, it just folds up, so it's not too bad. So I've just got little bits over. Okay, this one's okay because that bit doesn't lift up. So squash down. Right. Now just turn it round. Won't be able to lift much up because I don't want it to all slide off. So that's basically it. Just do it very gently so it doesn't all slide off. So we're going to address the bit underneath here. So you can, I have got flowers, they will squash back, although I've shaped them with the tweezers, they will go back to normal. A little bit of, once you've stuck them down, they'll be alright. And I just cut where I thought and then just fitted them in. Or we can go the other way and have something totally different, and we can fit these in. Like that. Something different. Entirely up to you. I don't really like that. I'm going to go with these ones. So I'm just going to turn it back again so that I can see. Right, I made the mistake last time of gluing them down and then cutting it off after, but it was quite awkward to get in. So I'm going to place it down like that, pencil, and I'm just going to do a little mark there and there, and I'm just going to literally chop it. Like that. That needs to be chopped a little bit up there. It is fiddly, or if you wanted to, before you actually stick anything down, just mark it out where you're going to be putting it, and then you can emboss it first before you do it, so you don't have to stick these on after. I think that's alright. Bit up to you, but it was an afterthought of me doing this. I just thought it looked a bit bare. So let's just stick this down. Entirely up to you. You can just leave it as it is. You can leave it white. Okay, that's that. And the little petals that I cut off earlier, you can just stick around. I can't remember what I did. Oh yeah, I did two main ones. Let's get another one. Flatten it out a little bit. Don't be too vicious with it in case it breaks. I'm going to just chop that off. Straight across like that, and if we need to, we can shape it. That's a bit too ambitious, I think. That can move up a little bit. Like that. That can go there. Like that. Or we can move it down a little bit. There, it looks quite nice. So we've only got room for two little ones. That's because I actually made it a little bit smaller in the beginning from my other one. But you could actually do a big massive one and do everything on the inside and nothing on the outside. Perhaps I'll do one of them. That might be different. Right, just pop that there. Like that. Just slide it under a little bit. That's it. A bit of glue seeping out. Right, and with these ones, I think it looks a bit bare up there, so I'm just going to put a little one there. I'm just going to shape it slightly. It's fiddly, but perfect. Right. Oh. Just stick that underneath. Just get that little bit of glue off there. Right, that can be binned. Right, just put this on here. Put that in there. Right, I think that's it, everybody. Oh no, I was just going to... Right, inside you can put whatever sentiment you want on the inside. I will cover that in a minute. It's quite pretty. So that's that. When it's all dry, it will go on. It's ever so heavy. I have to warn you, it's a very heavy card. I'll put it on Chloe's page with the link to it, or just visit my page, which is Crafty Carol 96. I'm just going to put some gems around there, and that's it done. Let's just open it up so you can see it. Okay. And I'll fix the inside. I'll show you on Chloe's page when I've done it. Okay, it's a little sticky up. Might need to just to angle it down a little bit. to do that, just do that. Just slightly, just angle it and it'll go down. It's down a little bit more. Right, I hope you enjoyed it. I made a couple of mistakes today, but no one's perfect. Hope you join me on the next one. I haven't got a card of the next one because I haven't designed it yet, but it will be a wreath card that's going around in my head. So I hope this has helped everybody, and good luck with making them, and I look forward to seeing them on Chloe's page soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.